Hello and welcome to SusyBLiving's Moonphase gardening schedule for the next 4 days. And they are Thursday the 14th of September 2023 to Sunday the 17th of September 2023. So we start off with Thursday is Fruits Day, and I am going to be sowing nothing at this time of year for fruits. I will be transplanting nothing. So this is quite a quick video, isn't it? However, when I come to my weeding and my maintenance, I am going to now finally cut back all the tops out of my tomatoes, and I will probably take most of the leaves off them as well. My tomatoes, as I've mentioned before, have not been very successful this year, and that is mainly because I started them very late because of the summer that we've had, and I'm using a lot of heirloom varieties. So I am rethinking that for next year. I've also had a problem with this. This is called blossom end rot. I've never had blossom end rot problems before, ever, with growing tomatoes. And a lot of my, especially plum tomatoes, the larger, longer ones, are getting this blossom end rot. So that's been a problem this year as well. One thing that has done extremely well this year, because I started them very early, are my peppers, my sweet peppers and my chilies actually, but my sweet peppers in particular. So I am going to continue harvesting my sweet peppers. They're all starting to go red now. Bring them in, and I have enough to actually pressure can. So I will show you what I will do with that. The first thing that I do is I roast them underneath a griller or broiler, I think you call it in America. So I grill them until they're completely charcoaled. You could actually put them on the barbecue if you want to. Then I just pop them in a dish and put a tea towel over the top, and then I take the skins off. But I do want to try and keep as much charcoal as I possibly can on the skin because it gives it the flavor. And then I'm going to can them in my jars and pressure can them. And then in the winter, I'm going to really look forward to them. And I also have these beautiful blueberries. I've got 3 of them in pots. They're all different varieties. And blueberries, obviously, on Fruits Day. I'm going to do a little bit of work on these because these haven't been repotted for about 2 years. I don't have acidic soil here. I've got very alkaline soil, and blueberries do really well on acidic soil. So if you do have acidic soil, if you get yourself a little pH tester, and if things like azaleas or camellias do really well in your garden, then blueberries will do well. So I have to keep mine in pots, which means I have to keep repotting them. Blueberries are gorgeous because this time of year in the autumn, they go this beautiful color, the leaf. So like I said, if you do have acidic soil, throw them into your perennial borders because they look absolutely gorgeous, and it might actually help when they start fruiting to confuse the birds and they won't eat the fruit. So I'm just going to take this out of the pot. I have an ericaceous compost that I'm going to put in here, and it's open enough actually, because that's the other thing with blueberries. They don't like to be on really waterlogged soil. Acidic soils normally aren't. But if you've got alkaline soil, they're very, very boggy. And so, but the compost that I've got is quite open. It's just a multi-purpose ericaceous compost. It's very good. So I'm going to repot it in there. You can put a little bit of John Innes #2 if you want in there as well, if you want just a little bit more substantial soil. But that is a very good job this time of year to be doing on Fruits Day. And for my feeding, I'm going to continue to feed my chili plants. This one here I grew from seed. I have quite a few chilies that I grew from seed, and I've also got some chilies that I got as plants as well. And this is called Rawit Purple. And it starts with this lovely dark purple color here. It then becomes very light and pink to this one here, and now it's going orange, and then I'm sure it's going to go red. So it's a lovely little plant. You could have this as a house plant actually, and I'm going to feed it with my favorite feed here. This is called Chili Focus. I use this every year and it is great for chilies and peppers. And that is going to be my feeding for fruits days. Friday, the 15th of September, Saturday and Sunday to the 17th of September is Roots Day on the Moonphase calendar. And I have got some lovely little transplant seedlings here that I need to plant out. I've got two different types of radish. These are the globe radish. I have scarlet globe, which is really quick to germinate. They're great for this time of year. And I also have cherry bell. And then I've also got a tray of turnips, and these are the Tokyo cross turnips. They're the little white ones, and they're doing really well. I've got these in my veggie pod, and I can see there are holes everywhere. Initially, I thought it was flea beetle, but on closer inspection, when I look underneath, I don't know whether you can see that close enough, there are tiny little slugs. And they are the ones that are making these holes. So I do have a few little slugs in my veggie pod. So these need to go out. I will show you the ones in the garden because they have already been transplanted and I have a bigger slimy problem there. For sowing on Roots Day, I'm not going to sow anything these Roots Days for the rest of the week. I'm going to maybe at the end of the month, I might sow a few more radishes, but I'll see how we go because I do actually have quite a lot of radish. For harvesting, I need to harvest some carrots out of my troughs and my, actually I'll take them out of the really big blue container and that's going to come inside with me because on Friday night, we've got people coming around and we're going to make a red cabbage, carrot and mint salad, so that's yummy. I've also harvested some beetroot and I made a gorgeous beetroot and red onion, our red onions, Tarte Tatin, and that was delicious as well. For feeding on Roots Day, I'm not feeding anything at all, but let me take you over to my bed where I've got my slimy problem on my radishes. So I had a few of these black Spanish big round winter radishes left and I put them in this bed. The rest of them are in my veggie pod and this bed in particular has an issue with snails and slugs. I've got a mesh over the top, particularly for flea beetle, but I actually think I'm going to take it off because I think the flea beetle is finished for the year. So on Roots Day, as I said, I do my little maintenance and my root weeding. This is a perfect time to check on these issues, check on any kind of pest damage and any kind of weeding as well that you want to do. But otherwise, I think these are going to do quite well in here. I've got those other radishes and I've got some room here and I'm going to put them in there as well because I've got these big tomatillo plants here and I don't want to pull these out yet. So yes, watch those slugs and snails. Best thing to do is come out at night just on dusk and they'll come out and you can get rid of them then. Okay, for my maintenance on Roots Day, we're going to look at my garlic. Last Roots Day, we had a look at the state of the onions and we processed the onions. Well, now it's time for the garlic. The garlic we harvested quite a while ago, actually, and we've got this ingenious way of hanging it off this kind of wire frame here. But they're ready to actually come in and we're going to process them like we process the onions, which is taking, let me just pull this out. Taking the stem back to about an inch of where the actual neck is, cut that back, take off any excess skin, but we've already kind of done that and then we do the squeeze test. If anything is rotting, that has to come in straight away and we have to use it, but the rest of it is going to be actually processed like that. Then I'm going to check to see if there is any seed that I want to use for next year's planting, or actually this year's planting, because in October I start planting my garlic for next year. Might even do it at the end of September. I've got to see how the weather is. So I start looking for anything that has big cloves of garlic. This one is a really good one. The other thing that I'm also looking for is I'm looking for splitting. I'm just going to pull this one out and I'll show you. This garlic bulb here has split. Anything that is split comes inside with us straight away and we need to use it because this isn't going to store very well over winter. But I do have some very nice big bulbs. I'll show you this one. I could actually take all of these cloves off this bulb and I could actually replant them for next year. I have done it in the past. It does work very well on certain varieties and other varieties it doesn't. So I'm going to have a little backup and I'm going to order some as well. So if you want to order your garlic, order it now. You'll see all of the suppliers have got deals on at the moment. So get your garlic ordered. Thank you for watching once again. On Sunday night, I will bring out my next video for the next 3 days of Moonphase gardening and my schedule and what I follow. And I hope that it has inspired you to maybe follow along with me, my schedule, and have a look at Moonphase gardening because it is very interesting and I love it because it gives me some kind of discipline and it's fun as well and it works. So I'm Susie B of SusyBLiving. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video and subscribe because then you will get my videos regularly. And I'm going to continue this for all of the seasons. See you later.